really. Uh-oh, wait.
11 with Jenna. 11 with Jenna. 11 with Jenna. 11. Who you gonna call right now? 11 with Jenna. With Jenna. 11 with Jenna. Right now. 11 with Jenna. With Jenna. It's 11. Who you gonna call right now? 11.
Just because that was fun, why not? Let's just do that again. Hey there, what's going on? Patty Loman, Julianne Smith. Julianne, we ate beets and rutabagas today from you. Thank you so much. Beets and rutabagas, oh my, the last of all of the plethora from the farm, Collinsworth Farm. What's happening? Hey, Patty. Patty, oh Patty, oh Patty, oh Patty, oh Patty, oh Patty. How are you? So there are two of you that I know, and the other two, I have no idea who you are, but my name is Jenna Mammina, and I will be here every day, and I have been here since March 23rd. I think I said 20th earlier. March 23rd, 2020. Every day, every night, at 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 days, 7 nights, 14 times a week. Here, out there, at your house, somebody else's house. Howdy, Morocco. Do 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 do. Howdy, Morocco. Carrots. Oh, carrots and ground cherries. Oh, yes, please. Hey, Carol. Do 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 do. Still gotta get. Remember that song? Think of Laura, laugh, don't cry. It's so sad, but think of Carol. I don't know. There's gotta be a song with Carol in it. There's a movie with Cate Blanchett. Ah, my heart. I love that movie. Anyway, so yes, I am here every day here on Facebook Live and every night here on Facebook Live. And then my friend William D. Lindemann, thank you very much, reposts them onto YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit that button, then something magical happens. Patty Loman is watching. We got to figure this stuff out because it draws my eye to it, and I keep thinking there's somebody else there. Anyway, lots changing here. Got to go over a couple of little things. No Julie Luce tonight. Carol by Chuck Berry. Oh, Carol by Chuck Berry. Do you know about that song, Carol? We've discussed this Carol thing before. I just haven't learned one yet because I'm learning all these 90s songs right now. I'm learning. Do you guys want to know that I'm doing a gig in a couple of weeks, and they're all 90s tunes. Some late 80s, other ones late 90s, and I'll tell you the names of the songs. Some of them, anyway. I can because we have this list. No, I don't want that. I want this playlist. Here are the songs that I'm learning right now. Well, listening to them. Do I do? Yes, I got some honeysuckle for your lips. Yes, I got some honeysuckle chocolate chip and kisses for love. All I do, yeah. And treated me kind. Sweet destiny in your eyes. The light, the heat, your eyes. 'Cause I'm free falling. Walk on the ocean. A long December, and there's reason to believe. She drives me crazy. Ooh, ooh. Well, I can't make you love me. It's close to midnight. And tell me, did you better the one about the best soy latte that you ever had. Train. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. And I'm gonna keep on loving you. 9 out of 10 of the songs, but there's like 20, Every song in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, same key. B. They're like no wonder I like to sing these songs because, well, in the 70s too, B flat, B. They start in the key of B. Some in G, but we took some Little Red Corvette. Or yeah, I got to do that one, right? I'm doing that one. It's this party. She is here. You are here, Julie Luce. Julie Luce. Hi. So okay, tonight is Tuesday. Yes, Dr. Andrew's going to be here. He's here, but I just went through that thing. So thank you. Tomorrow morning, Wednesdays, is usually making and baking with Patty. Well, Miss Patty is moving, so we're going to move her to another day soon because we are starting Wednesday walks. It's about walking on Wednesdays. And maybe tomorrow night, cookies and conversation with cocktails with Shauna. I don't know. And then Thursday morning, something else. And then Thursday night, my friend Lauren's going to be here. Friday morning, Armando. Friday night display and share. Did you see that photo? Katie Lang, Cher, Madonna, Joni Mitchell. And there's a guy in the background. I want to know who that is. He's like, who's taking the photo? And Cher's looking at the photographer like, really, dude? You're going to like mess up this moment? Like we're having a cool hang here and you're, ladies. Patty Loman is watching. So no making and baking with Patty tomorrow, but walking with Jenna. And then next Wednesday, guess who's coming back into town? Yep, she really is. So you'll be walking with Blanche. I probably won't go because I got to give when Blanche is walking, she walks big. She won't even walk with Lillian because she walks big. She's like her own parade down the street. But that's not till next week. And then Friday morning is Armando, and Friday night's display and share, and Saturday morning's one more Saturday morning with Jeff Metzger, and Saturday, and maybe the cheese guy this week. The mushroom guy last week. Oh, I made so much food today. That is, have you met Colette? No, I like this. I do like it, but hi. Oh my gosh, look who's here. The best bartender in the world. I'm missing my cocktails, girl. Hello, Miss Wright. She's Miss Wright for sure. Come on the show. You have to be a guest on my show. I'm here every day, 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. New York time. So whatever works for you. Hi. We got to talk. Don't remember, but one of what I missed. Okay, and then what are we talking about? Oh, and then Sunday morning is Alex, and Sunday night is Poetry Glam. Poetry Glam. We're going to do that again. I know. I need to do a show. I need to go to New York. Well, I'll know about New York in September. And then it's Monday morning meandering and Monday night meditation, and Tuesday mornings kind of chill. And Tuesday night is Dr. Andrew Rader, acupuncturist and hypnotherapist to the stars. So I would like to, I thought you'd catch that a little sooner. I didn't catch it, Andy Rader in the house. I don't know if he's on the short pier. I would love to. Italy in August, are you moving? Sorry, Andy, I'm having a couple conversations. I've just been invited to go to Italy in August. Isn't it August? Huh? How'd that happen? Oh, I know what happened. I didn't press pause. Hi.
Hi. Well,
I like your post about announcing the show tonight. Thank you.
Sure.
Doctor,
Sure.
how are you?
Well, I know for some of you, if I say it's hot and muggy here, you're gonna go because it's nothing compared to the East Coast. But it's a little hot and muggy here.
How hot and how muggy?
Probably it was in the mid 80s, which for here is
Hot?
not crazy.
You
But it was a little muggy. Like, I had to change my shirt. Oh my God.
I know, but you and Shauna have very cool shirts on today. Like she's got peacocks and you got like all this swirl going on.
Here she is. Here she is.
Hi. Hi, shy girl.
Oh, it's
Love you. I
delayed.
miss you.
Yeah,
I miss you too.
Thank
Fun. Come back.
I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back with a bunch of boxes.
Okay. We got room.
Yeah, moving in, Andy. Didn't you know that?
Come on down. We got 2 bedrooms.
That's
They're
the plan.
empty.
Yeah, but then I bet your grandbabies will be moving in one of these days.
No, they got their own world.
No, we'll be moving in with them.
Maybe. That would be fun, huh?
They wouldn't let us.
Yeah, because you could cook. They would love that.
Yeah.
What did you cook for dinner? What did you have for dinner tonight?
Went to pizza.
Shauna made a polenta pizza a day or so ago, and we're still eating it.
Chipping away at it.
Yeah.
And what was on top of this so-called polenta pizza?
Onions and zucchini and sun-dried tomatoes, artichoke hearts, olives, and anything else I had in that refrigerator.
Nice.
And tomato sauce, of course.
And
And
zucchini from your garden?
No, our zucchini's not doing very well.
it's kind of
It's pathetic.
woody. It's kind of woody. I think we're not watering.
No, we're watering. I think they need really hot, consistent weather.
It's been
They
hot.
And-
need muggy weather.
Well, it's just, you have cold nights, some hot days, some not hot days, some overcast days. I mean, it's just all over the map. And they want good, consistent
I
heat.
don't know, zucchini are not that picky.
And the tomatoes are so. They're happening, but,
Yeah, but what are you going to do with tomatoes?
woo. Yeah,
Tomato sauce, salsa.
you get canker sores after a
gazpacho.
while.
Not a fan. But that's okay. What did you have for lunch, Andy?
Oh, that's going back in time. What did I have for lunch? Oh, probably some leftover lentils that I made the other night, and
Indian
rice, and
lentils. Indian lentils.
yeah, red lentils.
Red
Indian.
lentils.
Yes, dal.
Dal. How's your friend? Have you been back to the restaurant?
I'm afraid.
You're afraid to go back? You're afraid he's going to give you his car or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Just take it.
We're plotting.
What are you thinking? You have any ideas?
Making a donation to the local community center in the restaurant's name.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back to my show. I can't seem to find me. But thank you for posting the show tonight. Seriously, guys, what happened to me?
You can't find your Facebook page?
Oh, I found it now. There it is. Carl Hess is here. Julie Luce is here. William D. Lindemann is here. Suzanne's kind of here. So we're coast to coast right now. What do you feel like talking about?
Well, I have to talk about the vibe, the COVID vibe now, which
Talk
is,
about it.
we're in a relatively safe county. There's over 90% vaccination rate here, and I can just feel the last week it's changed, and there's a retraction.
What do you mean there's a change?
There's a change in how people are feeling and acting and being in terms of, so for the earlier part of the summer, there was a great release and people were excited and meeting and, almost hey, it's a back to normal. Again, we have really good vaccination rates here and people wear masks. And so it felt like we got this. And now
Did you really believe that?
No, that's why we're
Okay,
wearing,
I just was checking.
that's why we're wearing masks and still, but even with that, you can just feel it. I'm in two groups. One is Toastmasters and the other is BNI. It's a networking group. And before COVID,
It just happened. Sorry.
there's a magnet pulling you. So before COVID, we met in rooms. Oh, there you are. Beautiful.
Isn't that a nice one? Alex got this for me.
So last week, we in the Toastmasters group, we had our first hybrid meeting, meaning
You did?
half of us were in a real room together, and we had it rigged for the other half to be on Zoom, and it worked. It worked.
You mean nobody got sick? It worked?
Well, that for sure, and it worked. That the people in the room were able to speak and be seen, and there's some noise, background noise on here.
I'm heating some hot water. Yes, my father was in Toastmasters, William D.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm heating up water. Heat up some water. Okay.
This would
Get
not
some
fly,
towels.
this would not fly on FM radio. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you guys were all in one room. How many of you were in the room?
6 of us, not a lot, just 6.
And how did you decide who would be in the room and who wouldn't?
There were anyone, whoever wanted to come could come, and then the other, I think there were about 8 to 10 people on Zoom, and we were able to have the people in the physical room be seen and heard, and we were able to have a screen and see the people on Zoom. We rigged it so the mics worked and there wasn't feedback, and
You guys you went to a lot of effort to make it happen.
well, one guy in particular did all the tech work, and he showed up early and he borrowed a projector, and we needed 2 cameras,
Yeah.
1 projector, 1 laptop, and the problem is sustainability. So if he doesn't show up every week, but it's his private equipment, and so ideally the group buys the equipment and stores it on site, and then there's always someone who knows how to set it up properly. But this little microcosm is happening all over. Like groups that used
Can you
to meet.
explain what Toastmasters is?
Sure. Toastmasters International. Toastmasters International, it's what the international part means. It's in many, many countries. And there are groups, chapters, they meet weekly. And there's a set agenda, and you rotate roles. And the main purpose is to up your game with public speaking. And in each chapter meeting, there's a slot for 2 prepared speeches. There's impromptu speaking. There are short speeches. There are longer speeches. There's a host who's the Toastmaster. There are evaluations. So after you give a speech, someone will evaluate your speech and tell you what they liked and what could be improved upon. It's a really tried and true system. And there are corporate groups, meaning there are Toastmasters groups that meet, let's say if you work for a big company, then on a lunch break or after work or before work, there's going to be a Toastmasters group of employees. There are campus groups. So students could be part of Toastmasters, and then their general public groups, which the vast majority are. And I'm in a Thursday afternoon group, meets at noon. And if anyone's interested, because it's online,
I would do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So Thursday noon Pacific time, and I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, another fun thing is there's always someone who counts filler words like ahs and ums and ohs and
Really?
so's and you knows. Yes. And so at the end of the meeting, you hear,
Like for real?
you had Jenna had 3 so's, 2 ands, 1 but. Andy had 2 so's, 1 but, 3 ands, and a you know.
I never sewed. I sew now.
A lot of people start their sentences
So,
with
right.
so.
Yeah, Ben was in Toastmasters. So, you guys.
Yeah. So you become conscious, and I just did it. You become conscious of your filler words. People have a hard time with empty space. It's okay to have empty space.
But also, it's nice when you're having a conversation with someone. Oh, okay. Like I have a friend that I've noticed this when I am speaking and I'm telling a story, they go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, you know the story already? You heard this, what someone else told you the story earlier? Yeah, yeah. And then someone said to me, they go, oh, that they're bored. Yeah, yeah, wrap it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, years ago, my mom asked me, she said, when you're on the radio, before you go on the radio today, try not to say yeah. But when I say yes, I have a lisp. So yes, I have to practice my yes to be, so I'm very clear when I'm on the radio, because yes, because yeah. So filler words, yeah, yeah. Not to be a downer, but then you have Lollapalooza. Oh my gosh, forget about it. Such Lollapaloozers. Did you see that, Andy?
No, what?
Did you see a photograph from Lollapalooza yesterday? Watch.
No, what?
Oh, give it. Okay, so Lollapalooza happened this weekend in Chicago.
Right.
2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, Chicago's an hour and a half from here. Super spreader. Wait, I'm just gonna text you. Can I text you something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my cousin's daughter lives about a block and a half from where it happened in Chicago. So she could hear it outside her window.
Well, they broke down a fence, people got in. It was just craziness. Where's that photo at, you guys? I posted it the other day. Now I can't find it because it's such a weird, it's an aerial shot. Well, anyway, it'll come back, like Carl just said, it's going to come here. Major. And they say that everybody was vaccinated. Really?
Well, so I'm reading Toastmasters used to be just men.
Yeah.
So did the US Senate and Congress and almost any other institution.
So is it, what year was it that women could get a credit card? 1970 something? Yeah.
Well, I mean, have their own bank accounts.
And get a credit card.
So Sean and I started, and we're almost done, I think, with there's a documentary about women in Hollywood called
Now things are going to change. This is going to change things.
This Will Change
Oh,
Everything.
I heard about that. This will change everything.
Very good. Very good. And then today's news, coincidentally, Reese Witherspoon is selling her production company You know, Reese is behind Big Little Lies and a lot of productions that were written by women, directed by women, starred with, and that's the whole point of her production company. And she just negotiated, I think, $900 million
What?
sale of her company. She'll still run it. She's still on the board. It's in the news today.
What do you do with $900 million? Stacks Curry. Reese.
Well, more power to Reese,
Let's get Reese on the show.
because who the hell could pay the $900 million for that, right? So I want to say Blackwater, which was a nasty company. It's Blackwell, Black something. It's a Wall Street firm. A
They bought it.
couple of Disney execs are also going to help her out. But, you know, go Reese. You built it from nothing. She used her own money to
Well,
start
she
out.
was already a superstar when she built it. She had
Well,
money. She didn't
I
start
wouldn't
with
say-
nothing.
I wouldn't say she was a superstar.
How do you start out in the music? How do you make $1 million in the music business? You start with 3.
Start with two, yeah. Well,
But good
yeah.
for her.
Yep.
Come on the show, Reese.
So I just said so again, like 4 times.
I know, I'm checking it off. So at the end of 11/11, hey, can we we need a secretary for that now. What are the words? So, yeah.
Called an awe
Yeah.
counter, AH counter.
What?
It's called an awe, well, if you're from New York, an awe counter,
It's an awe counter.
AH.
Uh-huh.
It's similar to
Ready, Carl, let's go.
So an awe counter is going to count the ahs, the sums, the ohs, the so's, the you knows.
Yeah.
You got it. So from
And-
now on, I just did it again. I'm going to be very deliberate in how I speak.
And I almost did it. When you do speak, or before you go on to your Toastmasters Zooms, do you have all those words there with like an X through them? Oh, Carl, Suzanne, you know. Yeah.
I don't have those words up. There's also something that we start the meeting with. The grammarian or the word master gives us a word of the day.
Okay.
And you want to incorporate that word of the day in your speaking.
Do you have to incorporate it into your speech?
If you can, it's not a must.
So is it like plethora?
Sure. So there's a plethora of choices when you're
You
speaking.
did it again. You said so there's
See, you can do it.
okay, let's talk words, you guys. I was having this conversation. Are there words that you think people pronounce differently than what you're used to hearing them?
Yes. Now, there's a great YouTube from a linguist who actually does all the accent, not all, but many of the accents in the United States, many of the major accents, and he has other linguists with him to help him out. And he breaks it down. He breaks down the Boston accent versus the New York. Well, there is no one New York accent.
Right.
We all know there are many. And it's based on culture, on social status, race, language, first language versus second language. And he busted a myth. Here's the myth, that each borough has its own accent.
Oh,
Like there is not a difference between the Bronx and Brooklyn or Queens necessarily.
I
Although
think there's a difference between the Bronx and Brooklyn.
well, he begs to differ. Now I know,
Depends on where you're talking about in the Bronx.
do all of you, some of you may know who Mel Blanc was. He's the voice behind many of the Looney Tunes characters. And I heard an interview with him, and he said Bugs Bunny, his accent is a cross between the Bronx and Brooklyn. That was out of his mouth. I'm just going to report what he said, and I'll let it rest.
That's what Blanche says. She grew up on Long Island and lived in the Bronx.
Right. Now, somebody who has a house in the Hamptons is going to have a different accent than somebody who's from New Rochelle, who's Italian or Jewish or Irish or works at a pizza parlor versus goes off
Careful.
to Rutgers, whatever. So they're all going to have different accents.
But what about words?
Like, oh, here's one. Across.
Or
And
across?
Or across. There are Midwesterners who say across.
I went across the street.
Or nuclear.
Ah,
And the other word.
nuclear.
Nuclear.
One of my biggest ones is realtor or realtor.
Oh. Or wash the clothes. Or wash the clothes.
Idea.
Idea.
Idea and idea.
Oh, I do.
Oh, Suzanne says my dad knew Mel. My dad was in charge of children's records at Capitol back in the day. That's cool.
Wow. Wow.
And a friend of mine, her father created Bugs Bunny.
What?
You mean the drawing?
Yeah,
Wow.
her dad invented Bugs Bunny.
Unbelievable. One of my heroes.
Realtor. Oh, we were talking to our realtor. I'm like, there's no such thing. Read the letter. Read how the word is spelled, and it's or another one. Sriracha.
What is it?
Sriracha,
It's Sriracha. It's not Sriracha. It's Sriracha.
the hot sauce.
Hmm. If you look it up, I'll look it up for you really quick. It's Sriracha, Sriracha, and everyone calls it Sriracha.
Wow.
Anybody?
The word.
What's that?
I'm reading now some of the comments.
Sriracha. There's a few other. I'm trying to think. My Oh, so with the counter, would anywho be one of those? Anywho. I have a friend that says that a lot. Anywho. Sandwich instead of sandwich.
Never heard.
I thought little kids said salmon.
My grandmother said sandwich.
Oh, vegetables.
Oh, my grandmother, said vegetable.
She did? Vegetable?
Vegetable. Augusta.
Vegetable.
Did you ever meet Augusta?
I did.
Wow. Vegetable. 4 syllables.
Your mom's mom.
Yes.
Yeah, I took care of her.
Oh, right. Claremont House.
I hung out with her.
Wow.
All of a sudden I'm going, yes, I knew her. Of course I knew. I hung out with her. Like I did a lot of interesting, fun things with her. Sandwich. I'm going to have a sandwich. But we don't say Wednesday.
No.
No,
Wednesday. No,
we don't.
That's a good one, Carl. Sandwich. Anybody else have one? So do you have friends that have not been vaccinated, Andy?
You know people.
My daughter has a couple of friends.
No, we do.
Who? Oh, yeah. We
Do
did.
I know him too?
Maybe. I don't want to name names.
No, of course not. He didn't
Actually, you
blame me.
probably do. You probably do.
Yeah, no mentioning of names.
Andy and our friend's daughter.
Won't mention any names.
Oh, yes.
So what if you were to see them on the street? What do you do?
Well, I'll give you a story. A good friend of ours who lives close by invited us over for brunch the other day, and his daughter, 20-something daughter, was there, and she's not vaccinated. She lives with him
Not in the same house.
in
Jewelry.
a separate unit at his house. And there's another friend, another 20-something friend of his daughter's who is probably the ringleader in terms of not getting vaccinated.
Okay.
And it's driving him crazy. He feels that in his own house, he's not safe. But he loves his daughter.
Daughter.
He loves the daughter's friend. He's torn because he's at the point where he's going to say, you either do it or find another place to live. And it's like one of these horrible decisions. It's a Sophie's choice. Because it's very hard to coerce someone who believes they're doing the right thing. I don't think it's right to coerce someone, but they're not open to sharing how they found out or what their reasoning is or where they get their information from. And in my experience, 90-something% of the people who have oh, well, are we going to talk about this now? Okay.
As far as you want to. We can talk about words still if you want.
I think the New York Times might have done this. They divided up people who were not vaccinated into 4 or 5 different groups. So one group would get vaccinated, but they're worried about the cost and time and money. Like they work, it's hard for them to get time off to go do it. It's not convenient. Like they would do it, but time and money issues, they haven't done it. So that's one group, not a huge percentage. Another group is adamantly, they will never do it. They won't, they have a lot of beliefs about it. There's another group that are just cautious and they're waiting and seeing. And there was one more group, I can't remember. Maybe that's it. Those are the main groups. The ones who have very strong opinions, I would bet most of their information came either through Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, all working off of the algorithms, feeding them all the same information. And I'll leave it at that. It's not an easy choice because I understand the hesitancy, but in this case, the hesitancy can cause you to either infect somebody else or get seriously ill yourself, or it's still possible to infect somebody else, even if you're vaccinated, especially with Delta. Before Delta, the viral loads were lower in the vaccinated population, but now they're starting to see that the viral loads can be high enough to infect others. That's why we got to keep wearing masks, whether you're vaccinated or not.
So in Canada, Alberta's government has decided no restrictions, which does not help. If you get COVID, you don't have to quarantine? Really?
Is this for travel or what?
If you get COVID, you do not have to quarantine? So if you get sick, Rob, do you want to come on? I'm curious. I would like to know more about this if you want to come on.
We have many local governments or state governments that may be doing wacky things. I think Florida is responsible for 20% of either all the infections or hospitalizations. I can't remember which at this point for the entire nation. I think it might be COVID cases.
Oh yeah, their hospitals are full. They're turning people away, but yet Disney World and everything is open.
Yeah.
But in San Francisco, as of about 4 o'clock today, masks. They are also going to stop testing. Carol or Rob, I'm really curious if you would come on if you want to. They're going to stop testing. Yeah, it's harder to get testing. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Do you mind, Andy? I interrupted and invited.
Bring them on.
Rob Morocco. So goes California and New York. What the heck? They're going to stop testing?
So what happened is our government in Alberta, we'd be more closer. Alberta's a province about the size of Texas, and we're more aligned with the Texas thing, even though Canada overall is more conservative. So our premier, we had some of the worst rates in the country up and, through this third wave. And then when it got better because of all the lockdowns, they decreed, everything's open. They ended it. We were down to 25 cases a day. I think in the last couple of days in Edmonton, which is about 1 million people, we're at 775 cases and climbing fast. So it went 50, 100, 200 and continued. So, but he says, no, we're letting people know we're open. So they took all restrictions are gone. So you can go anywhere, any restaurant, anything. He's trying to force schools not to use masks this September, coming up in 1 month. Our premier, who's hated by everybody in this country. And as well, he's now decreed they're not going to contact trace. They're not going to, you don't have to quarantine anymore, and so on. His idea is get a vaccine or suffer the consequences. So yeah, it's the rest of the country, even Quebec and other provinces are trying to understand how do we stop Albertans. So it's not international travel, it's anything, anywhere. So if I was to get sick with COVID, it would be difficult to get a test, first of all, because they've limited the amount of tests that they're going to do. Ambulances can't or 911 can't call or talk to people and ask if they have COVID symptoms. It's gone. It's like it
They're
doesn't
going to act
belong.
like it didn't even happen and just kind of test it out and see how it goes.
Yeah, and so there's been festivals, and of course many of the people, 30% of the population isn't vaccinated, so they're going to these heritage festivals. They can't even ask, are you double vaccinated, are you single, or are you taking care? So it's going to go out of control fast, and it's climbing quickly. Hopefully the rest of the people will get vaccinated, but I'm having to be 10 times more cautious because the Delta variant is everywhere here, right? So, but it's like Brazil, the experiment of just let it run through,
So how does it change your life, your family's life?
Well, Carol, believe it or not, we went to a store to look at faucets. I think it was the first time you went in a store in 6 months. So she's been super careful. For me, for work, my guys, I have techs across the country that report to me, and we have offices, in different parts of the country as well. And I haven't visited them for 16 months, and I have no intention to do so. And we can't visit most end users, like everything from pharmaceutical companies, the chemical companies, the ones that we manufacture products for. We can't really visit because it's still when the businesses are saying, we don't understand this, like, what are they trying to do, the government? A lot of restaurateurs are still making people wear masks. And even when I took Zoe to the vet on Saturday, she was quite sick, they wouldn't let me in. They said, we're doing full COVID protocol, so they're not listening to the government but
So
but
people are not listening.
no,
Like they're okay.
but there are a lot of people that are saying, people that may not be tuned to all the news are saying, okay, it's over. So we're seeing the mask rate now down to about 10 or 15%, where it was 100%. And even specialists are saying a mask will not stop chaos from an economical standpoint. You can still wear a mask and business can continue and everything's fine. Like, it changes nothing. Like, if restaurants are open, all it does is you put a mask on just to help out. So they don't get it from the government. And like I say, the rest of the country, most of the country, except for the ones that don't like the government controlling them, right? Think it's insane. Like, they don't want Albertans, which is where Edmonton's located, to visit, so.
They don't want
So,
people from other countries to visit.
well, no, they're being very careful, and there's all the, they're starting to open up because the rates are down, but they're not ending mask mandates. They're trying to work with schools to make sure it stays safe. But Alberta, they don't actually want Alberta. Like, Alberta is the province that has Calgary and Edmonton and the cities. Katie Lang, like in your picture, she's from here as well.
Mhm.
But he just decided 2 weeks ago, including that, our top health advisor just basically said no. Says we'll do this with a vaccine. It's kind of like a tough medicine for them, but if you don't want to get vaccinated or you can't, you're not going to, right? But now, like I say, our cases have started doubling, tripling. We have the highest rates of it. We don't have, the people that have been double vaccinated make up a tiny fraction that are ending up in hospitals, but we're seeing it explode quickly. Within a week or two, it went from nothing to just free for all. So yeah, we're back into, I don't trust anything or anybody. Like, constantly wearing a mask. So
Good.
I have to. Like, look at this face. I look good with a mask, Dave. Hides my. So.
What do you think of that, Andy?
I'm dumbfounded. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Well, it's so many people think we've made it so well,
Well,
only maybe
Canada
another
was
couple
was so
months.
careful and so good and so everything. I mean, took care of your people and
Well, most of Canada is like, and I talk to my Quebec people or people in Ontario, they're using masks. Most of the population is there. But it's just, I think what's happened, we were on lockdown a lot longer than you guys, 16 months.
yeah.
And I think some of the politicians, especially more on the right, far right, for us, most of Canada is liberal, but is the fact that they just said, okay, enough is enough. We need to open for business and we don't care. But it's kind of, it's shocked some people. Some businesses are pretty freaked out about it. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's a gamble. He's basically playing, I think the headline in the paper today, Russian roulette with the people here. So allowing it. There are people, we have relatives and friends that have lupus and other, immunodeficiency diseases that they're worried their 2 shots may not give them what they need. So they're back into hiding and triple checking their mask because they could be the ones that get sick. There's those people can see sometimes only 15%, of the antibody maximums you can get for people that are healthier. So yeah, they're being super careful for sure. So,
And do you think antibody tests are reliable?
Well, are you asking, do they reliably give you information about the antibodies, or can you make conclusions about the antibody test? So if you see antibodies for COVID, that's reliable. It means your body has seen it because it's unique. But how long they last and how powerful they are in terms of preventing you from getting sick it's not clear. And
So
it's also
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
and it's also not clear if you've had COVID, like, and when I say had COVID, meaning you had symptoms, because most people, if they don't have symptoms, they don't know, they're not going to know to get tested. So if you've had COVID, it's also unclear if you are immune. And I don't believe, I believe that the evidence is you're not immune. You still need to get vaccinated. Even if
I did. I had COVID, and then I had my antibodies tested, and like 7 months later, 6, 7, even 10 months later, I didn't have the antibody. But when you get the vaccine, then do you have antibodies? Do you have the antibodies? So then it shows how strong they are, but is there a number that we have to reach in order to have those safe?
No, because they're different types of, the immune system has different types of ways of attacking non-self. So what the vaccines are doing is they're taking a tiny portion of the coding for the spike protein that they only exists on these COVID viruses, hopefully all the variants. And then what happens is your body makes specific antibodies to those proteins, right? To those specific segments of the protein. And they don't need to be in large numbers. They just need to hang out until they start seeing virus. And then when they start seeing virus, your body can scale up very quickly. That's how those specific antigens work. Let's say when you're a kid and you get chicken pox, after you're done with the illness, in your body circulating pretty much throughout your lifetime are just a small number of antibodies to that chickenpox virus, so that if you are exposed to chickenpox, you can amp up those specific antibodies very quickly, but you don't need to carry around huge loads of them all the time.
So explain to me, I kind of get it. I'm sure you read in the news the other day about how it's as easy to share as chickenpox, the Delta variant.
Yeah, it's as communicable as chickenpox. So we participated in chickenpox parties
with your kids,
with our kids, because we felt that.
Do you do that in Canada, Rob? Chickenpox parties?
No, we're usually running for the hills, but yeah, I understand what Andy's doing. I've had it, Carol's had it, but they give vaccines now here for it, so.
Yeah, they do here too. And if you're an adult, you don't want to go to the chickenpox party. But if you have a child and you don't, the vaccine is not as, I'm talking about chickenpox now, very specific.
Chickenpox vaccine is not, right, okay.
Chickenpox vaccine is not the type of immunity you can get from having chickenpox.
Correct.
So it's much better to have chickenpox. Of course, the kids can be miserable for a week or so, but it's worth it.
Except the chickenpox vaccine has a higher rate of preventing adults
For shingles?
shingles.
Yeah, Carol was just saying if you heard.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm debating the shingles vaccine because I've seen a few people go through that, and
shingles, bad news bears.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, and that's that's a different level of personal choice to get a shingles vaccine or herpes zoster vaccine. It's a whole other level with COVID. That we could go down the list with each vaccine,
Right.
pros and cons. So, hepatitis B, HPV, they're all different and they all have pros and cons.
Yeah.
And so it's not a good thing to be entirely against all of it for the same reason. That doesn't make sense. It makes sense to look at each one. What are the cost benefit analysis there, and make those decisions. And it also matters what time of life you're in, what age you're at, who you live with. Do you live with people who have immune deficiencies? There's so many factors that would come into play to decide, okay, that's a vaccine I'll get or not get.
What do you think of the shingles vaccine, Andy?
I don't have strong feelings one way or another around that. I think I know that people who have shingles are not happy campers, and you don't want to get shingles near your eyes or ears.
I have a dear friend that had it, and she's got a big scar like all here on her face.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
came close to right. She almost went blind.
Yeah, that matters more. A scar is one thing, losing your sight's another. And so, but shingles lower down your body on your chest, yeah, you're going to be miserable for a period of time. Some people, unfortunately, get long-term shingles, residuals that last for a long, long time, and that's a sad story.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go for my shingles vaccine this month. I'm the type that, because we in school, they were like vaccine time. I had every vaccine known to man. Then the international traveling, the jungle stuff. It was like bend over, do whatever. I was good. Like, give it all. And so
do you ever get sick from that?
Nah, you know what? I don't. Like, even the COVID vaccine, I had just like I missed a little bit of sleep. That worried me on both of them, and I mixed them up. Right, I took AstraZeneca and then Moderna, and the Moderna was supposed to kick you like a mule when you mix them. It didn't really do that to me. Carol for sure was punished on her first one, but so I'm hoping I have enough in there. But they're talking boosters, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna go.
Are they talking boosters because you had a combination of the two?
No, they're saying that the combination is supposed to be better than having two of the same, supposedly. I think they sell it to you when they're trying to convince you to
it's going to be better for you.
In the beginning, they said AstraZeneca is good. And then I'm driving home and it's like 5 people died of, clots and this. And I'm like, oh, great. But but I think we're more vaccinated now than the US, where we are higher up on the list. So Canada went from horrible to tons of vaccine came in, but we have that portion that says no, they don't want it, and then there's a portion of them that say it's a government conspiracy, right? The government's making us do it. So it's really odd, but yeah, if the vaccine's been like for shingles, I'm gonna go for it.
Rosalie has the shingles vaccine, and Grace, she knows someone that lost an eye, almost lost an eye, different person than the person that I know. Scary. Well, like the people that got the Johnson & Johnson now, they're waiting to hear if they need to, hi Emma, they're waiting to hear if they're going to need a booster, and I think they will. I mean, that.
Yeah.
It makes sense that having 2 different vaccines would be better coverage, because you're covering it from a couple of different angles, slightly different ways. So that makes sense. With public health, you have to make these decisions that individuals don't have to make. Like, do we send 1 million doses down to Mississippi where they'll probably be wasted?
Well, they're saying they are in Arkansas. Yeah, they're just like spoiling.
Or do we send it abroad where they will be used? these are, those are tough policy decisions.
If we're doing this show a year from now, do you think we'll be talking about this?
I don't think COVID's going to go away. But I think, strange things are happening. In India, it just dropped. It was raging, and then caseloads started dropping, not because of vaccinations. So there are these seeming aberrations. What I believe is naturally all plagues will have a peak and subside. Like the bubonic plague ended. It wiped out half of the population, but it did end without a vaccine. So it's just, it eventually will play itself out. It'll eventually mutate itself into not being so efficient at what it's doing now. But it'll cause a lot of suffering in between. And hopefully we'll just get better at doing what we need to do.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's not, some ridiculous variant, because it continues to, progress through populations like China now. I think on the weekend has a huge portion of the population on the outskirts of Beijing that are in full quarantine because it's starting to do the same thing. So I'm hoping that a year from now, we're not talking about what is the Greek, with lettering up. So lettering going up. Yeah, Steph came home, so she's barking at Steph. But and then we have a variant that's even more painful, but hopefully not. Like Dr. Andrew said, yeah, even the Spanish flu just dissipated at one point, and stopped, right? So
if you wanted to fly on a plane right now, you could leave your country. You could just go.
They're not allowing a lot of Canadians into Europe because, believe it or not, we AstraZeneca was the vaccine of choice here because that's what we could get. And so they're saying that AstraZeneca, which is Covishield, so we had the vaccine from India. That's where our deal was. So it's the same vaccine, but they're saying that, no, it's not the AstraZeneca from Europe. You used Covishield, which is the same license for the Indian facility to build. But so there's a little bit of noise with the right vaccines. The US has not opened the border up. Canada is opening the border middle of this month, pending fourth wave, what's happening. They're all getting nervous. But the US officially still won't let us in now, unless you're, very specific in the reasoning. So they did not change their border status. So
Wait, the US is not letting in Canadians, period?
well, you can go across, you have to prove that you have vaccine, and then the work is whatever you're doing is, essential. Like, no, the borders aren't open to where, everybody's getting across. Even during the worst, they were still coming across either way, through land borders or all these different tricks. But for sure, it was looking really good in July, but I don't think so. I have a feeling, we're going to be in a stand pat till, December, whatever. But
Yeah,
like I say,
it's not going to get any better in October, November. Am I being doomsday? I don't mean to be depressing here. I'm just kind of.
Well, I like you say, I'm living in the experiment. So, 2 weeks ago we had low cases, very low, and everything was going well. And then when our premier basically said, like the governor basically said, no, everything's off, that people were shocked. And exactly what's happening is what we expected is happening. So
Have they done that in other countries where they just go, poop, let's just
Brazil,
forget about
where they're still fighting it.
Yeah, didn't Brazil just kind of let everything go?
Yeah. They're saying, like, let the herd, mentality, take care of it. But they're still struggling like crazy. We have an office in Brazil that keeps telling us horror
I
stories.
think it's ruined for a long time. I like what Grace said. I'll listen to the scientists before listening to some government mandate. Right on,
Yeah. Oh, but Facebook knows better though. So like
Right.
all the
Well, and
Facebook.
what we're talking about right here, other people might think what we're saying is
I
correct, but
I agree that there even people as close. I've got like family friends that still think it's a conspiracy. I had neighbors that told me we don't trust the government, so they're not going to get, diabetic in their 70s. Another one has, rheumatism and arthritis, and I'm like, all right. And I actually told them, I said, I'll prepare when you die. I'll prepare to make sure I help take care of your yard and make sure your family's, watched over. And they got pretty frightened by what I said, and then they went and got their vaccines. But again, each to each his own, right? If you don't get the vaccine, just be safe, be extra safe. But like I say, some super spreader events are happening. Your Lollapalooza thing freaked me out when I saw
oh
that
my
picture.
gosh. It's like, did you see that photo, Andy? I sent it to you.
Oh, you sent me a photo?
I want that was down in Chicago yesterday or 2 days ago.
You have to do like a massive vaccine for like 10,000 people in that thing to go get the vaccine shot.
Those are all people.
Oh my
That's
God.
insane.
And they're saying that everybody was vaccinated. I mean, it would have been like, they could do incentives. Like you were talking, I know a woman who she's an attorney, and she told all of her people that work for her, she's got like 6 people, I'll pay you all $300 cash if you get the vaccine. Some of them did it, some of them didn't.
Nice.
But if you're at Lollapalooza and you're not vaccinated, you're telling me all those people in that photograph are vaccinated?
Let's say they are, which is impossible, because what they do, look at everybody's vaccine cards on the way in.
Wait a minute. Oh, I gotta get mine out. Oh shit, I'm too stoned right now. And I got it somewhere,
Even if they were, they can still be carriers.
Yeah, that's.
So then they might not get sick, but they'll bring it home to grandma or somebody.
Yeah. See, in Quebec, the government in Quebec produced a QR code for the people. So you have a QR code that any store, business, whatever can scan, which again may offend some people about rights and stuff. But if it's a health facility, and if you can show your QR code, which scans into some database, they can say, okay, you have it, and you're good. Because there's a lot of places that are insisting that they'll only accept double vaccinated. Businesses have the choice. You don't have to shop there if you don't want to, but so some are doing it that way, and it's a government kind of based scenario. So
Yeah, in Louisiana, they have the wallet. They have a wallet anyway that's on your phone, and it's an app, and that you can sign up and put your COVID information in that. It's very Hunger Games, though, to me. It's scary.
it is, because
I'm scared.
someone's gonna get that data eventually with a breach, even if it means well,
I
right?
mean, it's gonna happen. They're watching the show. Whoever's watching this show is gonna. I don't know.
Yep.
Because it's COVID conversation. It gets tagged like that. I posted that question. There's this purple question thing that goes. It's a window going around. Do you know someone that's had COVID or someone that's died? It's some kind of a phishing thing on scam on Facebook. I just photographed it and posted it and asked about it, and I learned more about it. But there's just all this. I don't know.
Yep. Because look at your buddy, the guy who comes on, a man of 1,000 faces, that keeps trying to become your friend. How many people has he infiltrated? Or I
Andy,
keep
do you know
thinking
what we're talking about? There's this guy. I'll show you his photo if I can get to it quick enough. He's this guy right here. Go away, Ogmir. See this photo of this guy?
They're the same guy.
It's the same guy, and
Yeah.
he friends me all the time. Like once a week I get a friend request from him with sometimes he's wearing glasses, sometimes he's skiing, sometimes he's in the surgical unit, sometimes he has a puppy. and he has different names. He comes by, this is Xavier somebody something, and it's not just me. They scam with him, but apparently he's this. What is he? A Spanish doctor or something?
Well, is he a bot or a real person just going through a lot of trouble?
He's a real person that they've taken his, like, somebody could be doing that to you, Rob Morocco, in Russia. My records, I have records that are on the website, looks just like my website in other countries, and they sell my music there.
Unreal.
But yeah, this guy apparently is some Spanish cat that they've used his photographs as all these different names, and he's just trying to live a normal life.
Yeah. So someone's using him and probably is infiltrated.
You just kind of went.
Oh, I did. Oh, I probably have my finger on the speaker.
Yeah.
Can you hear it? Yeah. So I was saying that he's probably in thousands and thousands and thousands of people's Facebook as friends, gathering data. It's either a skinny little kid in someone's basement with pimples or something, or it's some.
I need them to work for me for 11/11.
Or
I
some
need that skinny kid.
Some hairy, greasy guy, in someone's basement in Turkey that's gathering intelligence. I don't know. I don't trust them. But you're right. After what happened with my daughter and the banking stuff, I don't trust anything anymore. So
you can't. No, my friend David DiNucci explained in real life his name is Fernando Pinto, but people have stolen his pictures to lure women into online relationships. And there's a YouTube video of him where he's explaining this whole thing. But,
oh my God.
Yeah. Fernando. Yeah, but he comes off as all these other names, and he'll be like climbing somewhere and making food and.
You should get the real guy on your show.
Yeah, I should get him. Fernando, come be on the show.
We have to talk. Yeah.
Well, thanks, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
I don't, next week will be it'll be another idea, another story, right, Andy? Like,
I'm sure there will be. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye, Canada. Bye, California.
Thank you.
Hey, do you have a letter? Anybody have a letter? Give me a letter, Rob.
Carol, did you say C? C for Carol? Oh my God.
C for Carol. Okay.
Oh, C for COVID, she said. No. God.
It'll get in there.
Okay. I always want to say hard ones, but I won't, like Z or, X, but you probably figure it out anyway. You got the talent to do it. So.
Well, I know I said so a lot tonight, Andy Rader. Thank you very much for that.
The counter. Okay.
Anyway. Well, we see you guys on Friday. I hope so, Carol. You heard it here, right here on 11/11 with Jenna, with Dr. Andrew Rader, acupuncturist. Wow, 90 comments. You guys, good. Thank you. Share and share alike, and the more wows, the better. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Mama Grace. Thank you, Rosalie. I know, rest up and stay healthy. Stay safe, stay healthy, be nice. Everybody think twice about what you're gonna do tomorrow, which is today. Because it's 12:25 on the East Coast, 9:25 on the West, 6:25 even western than that. Oh, Andy, thank you for hanging out tonight. Yes, Andy, thank you, it's real alright. And I like to say, hey, share and share alike. CHER, CHER. More wows, please, yes, please, oh, more wows, please, yes, because I don't know how I'm gonna get it all in. So, Carol, it's Carol Fox, she's got cool thoughts. I love the way she paints, I love the way she talks. Carol is a good way to think, and I hope you all have Canadian words. Yes, because Canada, oh Canada, is a real cool place. Canada, oh Canada, but right now let's figure out how to stay safe. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be nice. And I will say from my heart how cool it can be right from the start. Have a Carol heart too, because you know if we do, we might all start painting just like you. Yes, have a Carol heart too, and you know I do. You should see the way I draw a stick figure. Mama Grace, I will see you in a little bit. Lily and Pearl, let's go outside so you can take a oopo while I will say, hey, please, thank you all for coming out tonight and hanging out all right. And I will see you tomorrow. No bacon with Patty, no bacon, eggs, because we're going a walking. Love heart.